Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to In the Stars Mashup with Dwayne and Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. And as you can see, I am missing my cohort, and Dwayne unfortunately is under the weather, and we're feeling kind of bad for him today. I'm not even sure actually
Extremely
it
under.
is. Oh, Keone, there you are. I can hear you. So
Extremely under. It's been one of those. It's been one, and I don't want to hear retrograde, Stacey. I don't want to hear retrograde. It's
it's
been
not retrograde, so it's just one of those days.
well. It started yesterday. All the lives would not connect. I had 4 lives yesterday. They wouldn't connect, so we had to do pre-records and then try to go live. So today, this was the first successful live in 2 days. And as you said, Dwayne is under the weather today, so it'll be a heavy uh, tarot and guidance day. And luckily, what's going to happen is instead of us going through horoscopes of the month, Stacey's actually going to pull a reading for each month, and then we'll have some interactions back and forth about that. So I'm excited about that. It gets to be highlighted about Stacy. So what that means is our live got more attractive today. There's no me and there's no Dwayne.
Oh, you're so funny.
So we have an extremely attractive live today. So that should be great. Other than that, I wanted to ask you because a couple months ago, you started a new venture, Black Feather Couture, Divining
Yeah.
VIP Life. I'm loving the parts where you're going out to different uh, wineries, taverns, all these places, and you're experiencing wine and you're eating tarot in these places, and these businesses have been really accommodating to you for the most part. How are you enjoying this?
Oh, I'm loving my day drinking and tarot segment for sure. It's, in moving here to Phoenix, one of the sort of the biggest things for me, call it maybe a New Year's resolution or, whatever it is, just, timing in my life. I really wanted to reconnect with the things that I'm truly passionate about. And I'm sure you guys who are watching have gone through this too, where, in a particular phase of your life, there's a certain something. Oh, you guys get to see Mr. Morpheus today. He's the ghost kitty. So that's exciting when he shows up. Because you guys almost never see him. So, it's different phases and stages in our lives where we identify with a certain something. I know in my 20s, my teens and my 20s, a lot of the identity was really connected to me singing opera, being an opera singer and pursuing that. And then in my 30s, I feel that it was, very much about the connecting to the psychic realm and who I have been my whole life, but just didn't have languaging around and all that kind of stuff. So, I feel like this move has really opened me up to asking the question, what is lighting my fire and floating my boat these days? And I've recognized, even though a lot of my readings are just purely psychic and I don't actually use the tarot or need the tarot in my client sessions, unless it's requested, which of course I have no problem doing that. I just love tarot and oracle cards. I love the beauty of them. I love how they look. I love the imagery. I love the experience of it all. And you blend that with my absolute passion for wine and wine tasting and trying the different wines. It just was a natural fit. So doing the day drinking and tarot has been really just fun. Like, it gives me a chance to get dressed up a little bit. I get to try out new places in the Phoenix area. So getting to know, the different areas of the town, whether I'm in the West Valley or the East Valley, or, if I'm in Scottsdale or Chandler. And, it's just been, I want to say it's been very liberating, quite frankly, to just kind of really full on be myself and share a lot of that with you guys. I have no idea if people really enjoy it or not, Keone. I am hoping that there are some people that find it entertaining, and I have been told actually that there are a few people who watch it that aren't wine aficionados, which by the way I'm not either. I just know what I like. But they enjoy the card pull, and they enjoy the sort of the story that is, sort of attached to the card. So yeah, I've just really been enjoying it. Something new to do, something new to, sort of put out into the world. And yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I had another question that someone wanted me to ask you, but before we get to that, Terry Ferguson says June sounds like it's going to be crazy. I hope not too crazy, or maybe crazy good, Terry, because that's my birthday month. Birthday, God, I don't want to start saying birthday month like a lot of people. I would love a card pull and a reading, if possible. Be the October 23rd. Dwayne's not here to comp on that, but we'll definitely get you a reading.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah. Hi, Terry. Great to hear from you. So let me actually do a little bit of a reading on June itself, and then I will pull a card specifically for Terry, because I want to, like, as you said, June's going to be crazy. I've been feeling, actually, when we're talking about June energy, I've been feeling more that it's going to speed up. Like there's an acceleration. Oh yeah, our card is the magician. So it's going to be more of an acceleration of the things that we have been putting into practice up to this point. I feel like in the collective, yeah, there's going to be a lot of crazy. The things that we are witnessing now, all of the shift, the change, the chaos, the uncertainty, there's going to be more and more of that. But I will say to you, I feel like June is going to bring about, what would you call it, a breaking point, like the straw that breaks the camel's back. I don't know if it's going to happen in June or in July, but I do feel that kind of momentum in the frequency and the energy. So for June, I feel like the magician card is coming up and coming through for us. And I'm pulling cards today from the Out of Hand Tarot by Jamie Sawyer. And I feel like the magician is coming through because it is about what we're experiencing based on what the thoughts that we have brought into fruition. So what you've been manifesting between, I want to say between now and, back in even in January and February, the things that you've been putting into practice, the things that you have been thinking about and saying, yes, this is the experience that I want to have. It's going to come in, and it's going to come in, I want to say, whoosh, like not with a vengeance, but I mean, with intention, right? With intensity coming in and coming through. And what's beautiful about the magician is the magician invites us to step into our power, to say, here are all the resources that I have, and I get to alchemize those resources. I get to access the power that is within me, to be able to put a little bit of this and a little dab of that into the mix and to experiment, to see what comes up and comes through. The other portion that we need to consider with the magician is the magician can be manipulative energy. And we've been seeing a lot of that out in the collective. We've been seeing it in, I want to say in some of the Hollywood drama that's going on. We've been seeing it in various court cases that are happening as it stands right now, not to mention the political environment. There's just a lot of misinformation and disinformation that's going on out there. And the magician is coming through to say there's going to be even more of that. When you have the palette and the paintbrush and a blank canvas, you can paint whatever story you want to paint, and it's up to the viewer of that painting to receive from it what they will. You might want them to get a particular story, but they might receive something entirely different. And I feel like that's really, I want to say, the crux of June in many ways. And it is Gemini going into Cancer. And, Gemini is a sign of communication, expression, ideas, so much inspiration around that. Now we're moving into Cancer, which is a water sign. We're moving from air to water. So now we're adding the emotion. We had the idea, the inspiration. Now we're adding the emotion to it, adding the feeling to it. And on the other side of that, you're going to come out with the result, the tangibility component. And I feel like it's important for all of us to understand as we're transitioning into that Cancerian energy, we want to be paying attention to the foundation that our feelings and emotions are coming from and are supporting. Cancers like their home bodies. They like to be at home. They like to take care of their peeps. They want to make sure that their environment is good. They are sometimes more reactionary in a lot of ways, not always, but in a lot of ways, because their prime focus is the feeling space, the emotion space. So paint your feelings and emotions, but release this idea that that you're going to have any say or control over how people receive what it is that you have to say or offer at all. Let that go, because that's going to keep you trapped, especially in this fast-paced momentum energy that's coming up. You want to just really step into what you're trying to create, and don't worry about the rest of it. You cannot control how another person chooses to receive you. The magician creates, and then the creation is out there. And whatever it happens to be, however it, sort of turns out, that's not the magician's circus and not the magician's monkeys. Let that go. I feel like that's really important. I'm also going to pull a keyword for this month as well. And then if we have time, Keone, I'm going to do kind of a little keyword, kind of like an aligned astro chat, like what I do on my Black Feather Couture. So the word that we're getting for this month is immerse. I had to double check it. I thought, oh my God, is it immense? And I just said it wrong. No, it's immerse. And I feel like this is perfect. We need to immerse ourselves in what shows up, in what comes through, understanding that, it's going to happen quickly, which means we need to be on it. We need to dive into that right away. That's the thing about things moving in very quickly. They're also going to move out very quickly. So you have to be willing to take the opportunity when it arises. And I feel like that's kind of what's coming up and coming through for the month of June. So Terry, let me pull a card for you and, see what you have to look forward to in June. Maybe some of the ways that you can temper or harness the energies that are coming up and coming through. Oh, interesting. You got King of Swords. So I love this particular depiction because we're seeing a hairstylist coming in and trimming the beard, trimming the hair, creating the style, working with the head, working with the crown chakra, working with ideas, plans put into action, put into motion. And King of Swords understands their skill set, their skill level. There's no insecurity here. There's no self-doubt around what's coming up and coming through. There's simple, decisive action. There's direct communication. And that's what I'm feeling is coming up for you in June, is no matter what is presented, no matter what the universe kind of brings into your path, I feel like you want to keep your responses simple and you want to keep them decisive. So no room for indecision. Go with your gut or go with the first response that you get and stick with that. King of Swords, unlike the Knight of Swords, King of Swords is not impulsive. King of Swords has listened to their trusted advisors, has given a lot of thought, a lot of feeling, a lot of ponderance and intentional consideration to the plan ahead. And once that plan has been enacted, once they have made up their mind that, okay, this is where we're heading, and we're seeing sort of this, I don't know that it's an island, but the way I'm seeing it right now, it feels like an island. So it's like the island is the destination, and I'm preparing myself to take the trip, right? I'm preparing myself to go over there because I don't know how long I'm going to be there for. I don't know when the next haircut opportunity is going to show up. So I'm leaning into that, and I'm not nervous about it. I'm not scared about it. I'm going to go. Or my stylist just recommended going over to this island, that there's a lot of fun stuff there, and I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to be ready to do that thing. I feel like this is the energy that you want to be leaning into in June. It's not about impulsivity, it's about committing to the path. And again, the King of Swords doesn't look back, doesn't think twice, doesn't second guess. The King of Swords says, okay, I've already done all the work to recognize that this is the path I've chosen. So now let me just move forward with that. And let me move forward with confidence. I'm also hearing for you that there's going to be something that comes up. It feels like around money or finance that's going to be a bit of a boon, an excitement, something you weren't anticipating or accepting. And I want to say it feels like it's connected to your skill set. So either you're getting something extra, like somebody's acknowledging your skill set, or you're getting an opportunity perhaps to make some money or to earn a gift or something along those lines using your skill set. But I'm definitely getting that in this card for you. So yeah, June energies being a little cuckoo, I would say yes, they are going to be cuckoo, but you have the ability to decide how you want to react to the cuckoo or respond to the cuckoo. And the King of Swords always responds, never reacts, always responds when in balance, right? When in balance. So that's what I got for you, Terry. I hope that makes some sense. Let me get you a keyword. Remember, and I'm getting remember your power. Remember your power. Also remember where you were a year ago. And don't be afraid to acknowledge, I want to say, how far you've come from a year ago. All right, Keone, who's next?
I had Jusu is a friend of mine, and he was actually going to come on today. We were talking about it, and he told me to ask this question. He said he started heavily getting into tarot, not doing tarot, but getting readings. He had friends that did readings, and he said he got so heavy into it that he started living his life by whatever the readings said, like all of these readings. And it got really crazy on him. What advice do you have to people? Because you've given this kind of guidance on tarot cards before and what they're for and how they should use the information given by the tarot card. So he's going to see this. And so basically the advice is for him and anybody else who's listening, of course.
Yeah, no, it's a great topic. So I am a firm believer in this card is literally a piece of paper. That's all its value and worth is. We give it its value. We give it its worth based on what we place within it. So I always say that I use tarot as a tool. It's a tool to help me kind of pick out the intuition or to clarify the intuition or the psychic guidance that's already within me. When you are living your life by tarot, it's just like living your life by someone else's opinion or thought. You need to have discernment around it. I always say you want to tune in, and if what I'm giving you or what you're receiving doesn't resonate or doesn't feel good or you're confused about the information, then let it go. Don't act on it. Tarot guidance is only as good as how you're going to use it, right? Like I've had these situations. Actually, I had a situation very recently where I found out a friend. We were out doing drinks one night, and I pulled out the tarot deck. And I always ask. I never just read for people random. I always ask, like, I'm happy to pull some cards. Does anyone want cards? I'll do a card pull for you. And they're like, yeah. And something that came through in that reading caused this individual to panic and to make decisions based on the information that came through, but not based on okay, if you make this choice, then this is the potential, but don't make that choice and you'll be okay. That potential won't happen. No, instead it was, oh, that potential now is out there, and that might be the thing that happens across the board. So now I'm going to sit in fear, and now I don't want to talk to this person, or I don't want to receive guidance from this person. It can shut you down if you allow it to fuel your fear. But that's not what it's about. If it's coming from a place of fear, or you're taking it in a fearful way, I would say put the cards down. You're not in the right mind space to be able to receive it, or maybe it's just not the right intuitive tool for you at that time. It's all about discernment. If you're receiving a reading from me and you're getting information and you're like, yep, no, that's pure bullshit, or nope, I don't buy into that at all. Listen to that. Listen to that. Don't put your faith or give away your power to a piece of paper. It is there only to give you a different perspective. Just like somebody's opinion. I always say, my opinion, a couple bucks gets you a really cheap cup of coffee, and that's it. It's up to you to discern or to determine whether or not you want to act on that opinion. Does that make sense, Keone?
That makes very good sense. And a good thing he's staying away from the TikTok psychics because they've gotten out of control.
I'm not on TikTok, so I never see anything like that unless somebody happens to send me something.
They are out. Well, I did send you the one.
You did. Yes, you did. Several months ago now, yeah.
A bunch of drama in the TikTok pet psychic community.
Oh, pet psychics. That's interesting.
They have people where you can call them and they will do a psychic reading for your pet and tell you what your pet think.
Oh, sure. Yeah, an animal communicator.
Yes. And I remember watching one the other day where the psychic said, well, the pet says, he's afraid because, Papa was in the military and he feels that he has PTSD and PTSD, depression, and suicidal. And the lady's like, why would you tell someone that their dog thinks they're suicidal? Number one.
That the dog is suicidal, or that the dog thinks the person is suicidal?
The owner. This is the dog talking about the owner. It's a very sophisticated dog.
Don't think that way. They just respond to energy and frequency, and they can tell when you're sad.
The dog knows when you're in the military.
I don't think my dogs know, or I don't think my fur babies know when I am, where I'm going when I'm out of the house, unless I'm telling them.
Yeah, they have gotten out of control, but hey, it is what it is. That's so that was good. Yes, that made very good sense. He said he got heavily into it and it was controlling his life. And I tell people everything is moderation.
Yes.
No matter what it is, it's moderation.
So
and there's a reason why it says guidance, not answers.
Yeah.
You never say, "Hey, I'm giving you answers." You always say, "I'm giving you guidance."
That's why I'm classic for saying food for thought. I'm giving you food for thought. Like everything that I say it with love. I say it with the intention of helping. But I'm just the conduit, and I'm giving you the messages and the information, and it's really up to you to determine whether or not that's going to work for you. And we all, at the end of the day, are responsible for our own choices. I'm thinking of all the warning labels that we have on things, like the warning labels on pillows and the warning labels on water wings and the warning labels. Like there's got to be a warning label on everything, because like when self-driving cars first came out, actually it wasn't self-driving cars. I'm saying it all wrong. When cruise control came out for the first time years ago on the cars, people thought it meant that the car was going to just drive itself. And so it set the cruise control and then went to sleep or whatever and couldn't figure out why they got into an accident. Well, you got to use your common sense. You got to use your discernment, it's the same thing with this. It's all in opening yourself to the food for thought, and then pondering that thought and making determination as to whether or not it's going to work for you, or whether or not you want to try it out.
Warning labels have ruined Darwinism and natural selection.
I'm not going going to lie. That rings true.
Somebody said, "Why would you say that?" I said, "Well, because when you used to stick a knife or a fork into a socket, you got shocked, and
Right?
you learn not to do that again." But little Timmy's mom puts these plastic pieces on there, so he just stabs at it for 10 years. He grows up to be an adult, and then I gotta hire him.
Well, at least he didn't get electrocuted all that time. He just didn't clue into the fact that it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Dead
hilarious.
end. It's a dead end.
So we are. This has been such a fast-paced year. It's
Yes.
summer. I think every year we go through this. January and February and March take forever. And then once it hits April, it's like, oh my God, it's October.
Mm. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Actually, this whole year has gone by for me. Like January and February also flew by for me. But yeah, like being here, we're what 2 days away from 2 or 3 days away from June. I'm hearing all the June things. I'm creating June content, and I'm like, wow, like this is the halfway point in the year, like 2025, the year that everybody's been talking about, the year that we've been dreading. We're already halfway through it, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not been fun. It's not been pleasant or easy on a number of different levels, but I'm flabbergasted at how quickly things are being paced,
Yep.
just kind of in the collective.
And we already did a general reading for June, correct? Did we do
Uh,
that?
yeah, I think we. Oh, yeah, I think we did.
Okay. So we touched on that. We got some great information for Terry. Now, those people in May who may have missed, um, we're going to do a part right now where we're going to go rapid fire, and we're going to pull a card for each. Is it each of the months, Stacy, or are we starting at a certain month?
Sign. We're going to do each sign. So I'm going to do each astrological sign, and just give me a second because I need to make sure that I don't miss any of the signs.
Well, I can yell the signs out to you.
Yeah, shout
Dwayne's
them
gonna
out to me then. Shout them out to
Dwayne,
me as we go. We're going to start with Aries.
Dwayne's gonna watch this back and go, "What, guys?"
Yeah, he's like, what are you guys doing? So I just, disclaimer, full disclosure, I am not an astrologer. That is Dwayne's specialty.
Yeah.
I do the tarot and the psychic stuff. But based on that, I'm happy to tune in and get a keyword for all of the signs and any other little messages that come through to kind of help us out. So we get a little bit of the aligned astro stuff in there. It's no substitute for Dwayne, but it'll get us started.
I'm gonna try something new at Station. She's gonna kill me after when I make fun of her. We're gonna try rapid fire. Let's see if that works.
Rapid fire, because you know that brevity isn't my strong suit. You are cruel.
She'll be on Aries for 15 minutes. All
All
right.
right, Aries, gratitude. And here's what you want to be considering. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong screen here. Here's
Yeah.
what you want to be considering for this particular month, the month of June. It's paying attention to where you have not acknowledged those who have helped you out. It's giving acknowledgement to where you are and why you are where you are, who has lifted you up. I feel like we could say, gratitude in your life, an attitude of gratitude. Where are you receiving gratitude? But I'm feeling like this is about the giving the acknowledgement of gratitude, because I feel like that's the secret to what is coming up for you. I think Taurus is next, right?
Taurus, yes. Hey,
All
don't
right.
feel the only part I have in this rapid fire.
I'm sorry. Okay, I will let you speak. Taurus, calm. Uh, Yeah, I want to say chill the fark out. There's a lot this month that is going to cause you to feel anxious or feeling like, again, the energy that we've been talking about, feeling like you've got to do, you're under the clock, you're under the gun, you got to get going. I want to say, nope, chill out, chill pill time. Take time out for the tea. Take time out to read the tea leaves. Be in that space of calm. Because when you start off in calm, you're able to maintain the calm no matter what transpires.
Gemini, that's me.
Gemini. Passion. Okay, so Geminis, I feel like you guys are going to be getting your freak on this month. I feel like any chance you can get, any opportunity that you can get to expand your sensuality and sexuality experiences, it's going to be really important to do so. I feel a lot of Kundalini energy. So the Kundalini energy is the energy that is at the base of the spine, and it coils out like a snake that is, uncoiling and going all the way up to the crown of the head. This is going to be a very energetic month for you, a very energetic time. You're going to need to focus your energy or to expend your energy. So be intentional about it. And if you're not, if sex just doesn't float your boat, what I would say is funnel that into creative flow and expression.
How am I going to focus if you're telling me I'm going to be having sex every day of the month? All right.
I didn't say you're having sex every day of the month, dude.
Oh,
That's your choice. That's on you if that's how you want to roll, and all the more power to you.
sorry, I read into that. Cancer.
All right, Cancers. Oh, commit. Yeah, I feel like this is a big one for you guys. No wishy-wash. Uh, don't let your feelings take over your ability to assess what really needs to happen, or your ability to say yes to the things that are meaningful to you. I'm also feeling like you want to evaluate some of your commitments. Some of the things that you've committed to maybe aren't fully in alignment with who you are and where you're going. And you want to be aware of that as well. So commit commit to things that really make you excited to be alive, to say yes, to participate, and evaluate where you have perhaps overcommitted or where you've said yes to something that really just doesn't feel good to you. And it's okay. It's okay to back off on that.
Leo.
All right. Luscious Leos. Release. All right, Leos. The feeling here is we've had a lot of releasing over the last year and a half. I don't mean this is like your last time to release ever, but I do feel a sort of a sense of that for you guys, that this is the last time to really be very intentional about what it is that you're releasing from the past. This isn't about new stuff that's come up in the last couple months. This is about, lifetimes, years, previous versions of self that you've been dragging with you, behind you as you're moving forward. You've got to let it go, because if you don't let it go, I feel like all it's going to do is just kind of fester and turn anything that you've got that's really good, you're excited about. It's going to kind of turn it a bit sour. So you want to really release with love, but release. Wow. I like the cacti here. Saguaro.
Virgo.
Virgos. Reframe. Wow. Okay. So, Virgos, pay attention to the stories that you're telling yourself. Pay attention to the stories that you're telling others too. Are you full of beans? Are you really meaning what it is that you're saying, or are you just talking to talk? Is it habit? I feel like it's reframing the stories that you tell yourself so that you can break out of habits that you've quite frankly been trying to break out of for some time. This month feels like the energy and the impetus that you need to be able to let go of those old patterns and cycles. And I want to say, like, woohoo on the other side of it, because whatever you're going to release, you're going to release it for good. But you have to choose it. I'm seeing all of these little koi fish here too, the little goldfish, the koi fish. Koi fish are all about luck and abundance. And I feel like the message that I'm getting for you guys is, in order for you to fully receive and embrace the luck and abundance that is available to you, you have to let go of the old. It's almost like you want to be like a brand new baby. treating the world as though everything is with on wonder. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's coming next. Everything's brand new. See if you can come at things with the eye of a child.
Libra. I just wanted to pop on you. Libra.
Yeah, I'm seeing you now. Okay. I'm like, where you should have been there the whole time, damn it. All right. Librans, we have manifest. Gosh, I love this for you, my Libras. Okay. This is a month where you want to make sure that you got all your ducks in a row. You want to make sure you got your shit together in terms of what you're creating and co-creating, because it's going to happen fast. What you're creating at the beginning of the month is going to start showing itself by the end of the month or sooner. You want to make sure that you are pure of thought. Don't be, mixing the water, blending things, kind of like what we were just talking about the Virgos. Leave the past in the past. Create fresh, manifest from the heart, not from the head, not from the ego. Manifest from the heart. That's where your purity lies.
I think I've liked mine the best out of everybody. You just said I'm going to have tons of sex. I like mine. Gemini's. All right, Scorpio. Oh, speaking of sex, Scorpios.
Forgive. Ooh, that's a big one. Okay. So this month, I feel there's going to be a lot of the emotional deep dive. There are even going to be some people from the past that come up into your space. And it's going to be really important that you not hang on, that you not be in a space of resentment, that you be more in the space of the understanding that we all are on this journey together. Think of those times when you have hurt someone and you didn't mean to. Step into that compassion space. Forgive. Forgiveness does not mean you have to forget. Forgiveness does not mean you gotta, accept bad behavior or throw yourself under the bus. Forgiveness is really for you. So you're forgiving them so that you can find peace in your heart. And I feel like that is the name of the game. Also, I feel that there's a gift when you forgive another person. There's a gift that immediately comes back to you. I feel like, yes, I could talk about a specific gift, but I feel like everyone's going to receive a different gift. We're all on a different path. So each Scorpio is going to receive a different gift when you forgive who or whatever you need to forgive this month. So that'll be kind of fun. See what your gift is.
Then we have the other S's, the Sagittarius.
Synchronicity for the Sagittarians. You got to get out of your own way this month. And I feel like getting out of your own way requires you to put a little more faith and trust in the road that's presenting itself to you now at this time. Don't think you can do it all. Don't step into that space we all have it, the ego voice. We all have the ego voice. We all have the ability to think that we know better or we can do better. I feel like that's going to stop you from the synchronicity that is showing up in your life. If you're in ego, you're going to be focusing on your timing, your outcome, very much in that 3D kind of energy. And that's not what's going to serve your purpose here. I feel like the synchronicity is only going to be there if you're open to it. And it's the subtlety. It's it's being quiet within yourself. Again, getting out of your own way, no expectation.
Getting out of your own way. Oh, go to everybody. Getting out of your own way. We are our own worst enemy. That's the line that everybody likes to tell you, right? Capricorn.
Caps. Create. So you guys have had a hellish few years, right? I mean, just astrologically, there's been a lot that has fallen on your shoulders. There's been a lot that has kind of come up and come through so that you could evaluate what it is that you actually really want and need in your life. And I feel like June kind of breaks everything open a little bit. I don't know astrologically what causes that in your chart to break things wide open, but I feel that there's a breaking open where before you would put a lot of work and effort into getting something done, and you get crickets, or you take like 17 steps and it would only take you one step, and it was pretty exhausting. This is a month where I feel like you're going to be full steam ahead. So what you put in is what you're going to get out tenfold. So it's the opposite. Whereas you were putting 17 steps in and getting one step ahead, you're going to be putting one step in and getting 17 steps ahead. So plan accordingly. Be in that space of creative flow, because that creative flow is actually going to be able to do something for you now.
Aquarius. I thought you were going to start singing "When the Moon is in the Summertime."
No, actually, I was thinking about my youngest stepdaughter is an Aquarius, and she stopped talking to me after I left her dad. And even though her dad and I are still really good friends and hang out all the time, so every time I hear Aquarius, it kind of brings a little sadness to my heart. But it's okay, all good.
Well, Aquarius tend to do that.
Yeah, well, because sometimes they can be that way, because they beat to the tune of their own drum, and they're very much about other people, the collective. And I think she just, anyway, it matters not. So Aquarians, receive. What a great card to get. I feel like, so this isn't a month where you can just like not do your work and expect a paycheck or anything like that. It's not quite to that extent. But I do feel that this is a month where maybe you want to evaluate how much you are giving into the world, and maybe just kind of pull back a little bit and allow yourself to receive, all those people that you choose to serve. Make sure that there's some reciprocity, but also I feel like it's just being in that space of, it's kind of like, Keone, you were talking about birthday month. It's like, it's like your birthday month, and you just get to receive all month for your birthday, reaching out all the time, giving you a call, sending you cards, little gifts, things of that nature. We receive when we allow ourselves to receive. And I feel like that's kind of the energy that I'm getting with Aquarians. Also, just really quickly looking at this card, I'm seeing, the bed and the sort of the dream state, thinking about, dreaming at night and all these fish, sort of that are floating in through the window into the bedroom. I'm feeling that nighttime energy, nighttime inspirations, things that come to you at night, are going to be highly inspirational, highly probable. Put energy behind what you're receiving at night, because I feel that it's going to come to fruition in really powerful ways during the day.
And last but not least, Pisces.
All right, Pisces. Foresee. I'm seeing the spiral in this card. So my Pisces peeps, you tend to get into the extremes of life. And I feel like the spiral indicates this month those times when you go down the rabbit hole, when you start to spiral out. Don't hyper focus or over focus on things that don't really matter. I feel like this is a month for you to, I know the word is foresee, but I feel like this is a month for you to recognize or foresee where you are maybe creating a problem that isn't already there, or that isn't there, or that you aren't making a situation bigger than it needs to be for you, not necessarily about anybody else. This is the conversations that we have in our own heads, right? You can go down a really dark rabbit hole, and sometimes it's a way to express yourself. It's a diving full on into the feelings and the emotions of a thing, so that you can have that full experience. This, I feel, is not the month to be diving in that way, because I feel like you'll create more problems than you'll solve. So foresee where you are. I I don't mean it in a mean way. We all can do this. Pisces and every other sign. We can get caught up in our field, and we want the drama. We want to feel that. We want to just, have someone feel sorry for us, or feel sorry for ourselves in that moment. I want to say you want to avoid that as much as possible. Don't go down the spiral. You want to be going up, 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 only up.
Awesome. Amazing. And that is a reading for every sign for June. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, we want to wish Dwayne a speedy recovery because we definitely want him back in July. It adds such a different element to this. I mean, Stacey, you're awesome always, of course.
Yeah, but no, he's so funny. I mean, the shit that comes out of his mouth, I end up like peeing my pants half the time. So I feel you on that.
If only I could be as funny with astrology stuff. Well, I can be, but that's a different comical area that he um, traverses. Don't
Yes.
you hate when you're talking and there's a word that's in your head and it goes away and you need to do a replacement word and you have no idea what word to put in there? And sometimes you use a word that has nothing to do with the sentence.
Oh, sure. I mean, that
Yeah.
happens to me on a regular basis, me being in the clouds, floating around all the time. Like, I get a word and I don't speak it fast enough, and then the word's gone and I'm on to something else, and it drives me nuts.
It goes the same thing when texting. Sometimes it'll be a word that I've spelled a million times and you just get locked. Like I was the other day, I was telling someone, I was trying to tell them to stop procrastinating. And I was like, stop pro, stop taking so long. You just say, forget it. And you'll just do the
Yeah,
sentence.
sometimes you gotta just like, I gotta move on. Like, I gotta move on because I'm just stuck in this loop.
All right. Speaking of moving on, everybody, we'll move on. Hey, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern. Go to the Black Feather Intuitive and check out Day Drinking and Tarot segment that's coming on tonight at 8 p.m. Watch that. It's extremely funny. It's what we were talking about in the beginning, where Stacy goes to different taverns. I won't say bars. I haven't seen her at a bar yet,
No,
but
I go to wine bars all the time. They're always bars.
I don't count wine bars as bars.
Well,
I just they're
that's
just
that's my kind of bar.
if it ain't serving tequila, it's not a bar. Or
Right.
if you say a beer or whiskey, it's not a bar. But the Black Feather Intuitive on YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern, which is in an hour and 2 minutes, and watch a segment of Day Drinking and Tarot. Then check out our other playlists for exciting things. Check out anything you want to on Counter Productions. Thank you guys, and we'll see you again the end of the month in June, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Have a good one.
Awesome. Transform well, guys. We'll see you on the flip side.